All right, I think we're up and running. Cat is climbing on me. Great, great. Just don't claw me too bad there, kitty girl. Ouch. Easy there, tiger. All right. So, ouch. Hey you. That hurts. That hurts. There you go. That's fine. You can be up there. Then you're not like holding yourself up with your claws, you know? You're actually just sitting on my shoulder. That's fine. All right. Got a cat passenger here. Hmm. All right. So, we didn't do much programming last time. We did a lot of modeling, which is fine. Um, but what I want to able to do is remove the magazine from the gun. That's the idea. Remove the cartridge from the magazine and put it in the chamber, right? So first of all, I think I want a function on the magazine um, that bumps the cartridge out of the magazine. Um, and let's try to test that separately, right? So let's look at the magazine real quick. Go into the magazine folder. Okay. And then let's look at the script for this, the code. Right? Hey, kitty cat. She perching. All right. So let's make a new function here. I might put it by the drag 1D because it's going to be kind of in that vicinity right here. All right. So the goal of this function is, hey, kitty cat. Yeah. To um you want to sit in my lap again? All right. Uh, Move the top cartridge forward a certain amount. That's it. Right. So in theory, this is only going to work if none of the cartridges are being dragged. You want my cocktail there, kitty cat? uh so let's see. Need to get a reference to the top cartridge. So this would be the top cartridge, right? This right here. So this is where we're going to actually do the stuff, right? We're going to move that cartridge in that case, right? And we can test this with our debug keybind, but we'll do that in a second. So we want to put it in the right spot, which we're going to look at this kind of as a example. Oops. Reference to the top cartridge. Now, %travel here. So y is going to be a function of z. So we just want to set the z and the rest will follow. So horizontal z minimum plus % removed over 100.0. That should be good. So now why is this not looking right? Oh, because we need the slope. Slope. Right, now we could move this out because we're going to use it more than one place. We could rename it horizontal slope. We're going to need to update that here. And we're going to need to update it here. Yeah, we could just call it slope. There's no other slope parameter, so it's not like we're conflicting with the name there. It's just easier for me to read, I think. And I think that should do it. So then let's just try this. Let's go in the gun object and let's map. Or we could even go into the player here. And I might run super quick, but I'm going to be right back. All right. So we're cruising here. This is gonna work, I think. Um, if we look at the player and then we look at on input, we should have a debug keybind already here. Here we go. Yep. Let's print test strip magazine. And then we can say gun dot that might work. It might not work, but we'll try it. I think the B button or the yeah, I think B is my debug button, but we'll try it. Is my debug window still gonna work? It is, although I'm gonna have to adjust it, maybe. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see what we get. All right, so it doesn't have to be fancy. Got a couple rounds in there. Okay. Lock the slide back. A mouse, says the kitty. Yeah? Yeah? Maybe we want some dinner. Give you some dinner, kitty cat. Let's turn on our debug screen here. And then let's press the debug key. Oh, it's N, I guess? Oh, look, it worked. You see that? That actually looks pretty good. See how that cartridge is coming forward a little bit more than it was before? And in fact, I think we could take the cartridge, the magazine out now. Over here. Oops. There we go. A little overzealous hitbox. We can maybe tweak that in the future. There we go. Okay. But you see what we've done. We've slid that cartridge out a little bit. That's awesome. It works. So, right now it shouldn't work anymore because that is a null reference, but that's okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. You want some dinner, kitty cat? Where'd she go? She might have dipped. I did already give her lunch, a late lunch, so we usually feed her twice a day, so still kind of figuring out her schedule for eating, because at her previous home, she would free just graze, but oh, there she is. Yeah? You want some dinner, kitty? She can't free feed or just graze here because we have the other cat, and the other cat just is a food hog. So uh, I had to just go close the door to down here so that the other cat was on his way because he heard that food. He was about to come scoop it. Okay. Anyway, so this is gonna be the command. So now if we look at the gun and we look at the slide. So does this slide broadcast its position? No, it doesn't. Not right now. Um, okay. Slide close progress. Okay. So if it's being dragged, here's the thing. If percent travel is positive, it resets the closed sound, which means if the percent travel is positive, it's opening. So you can make the case either way. Let's just keep everything in the same units if we don't have a really good reason to have it not in the same units. That makes sense. So this is this is a slide closing in progress event, but the number that it's going to report is how much open the slide still is. So if the slide is 10% open, it's going to say 10%. If the slide is fully closed, it's going to give a 0. That makes sense. As long as we're clear about what the values mean, then it's fine. You finished all that food, kitty cat? I'm going to give you a break. I'm going to pause on giving you more because Uh, Otherwise, if you eat it too fast, then it upsets your stomach, throws it up. Which is true for the other cat too. If we give them a bunch of food, they just scarf it, and then they get sick. Your tummy feeling okay, kitty cat? I wonder if barfing cats is against YouTube's terms of service. hopefully, hopefully no sick kitties. She looks like she's doing good. Uh, but yeah, we definitely feed her plenty. We go off the bag of food. It says how much you should feed him, and we just kind of go by that. So, and our other cat still gets fat, so we take it down a few notches as well. But we take him to the vet, and the vet's like, he's a little overweight. He's pretty good. He's pretty good, but he's a little overweight. And we're like, yeah. He's like 11 or 12 pounds, male cat, so he's not bad. He's not bad. He's pretty good. But hard to not give him some treats sometimes, Kitty? You coming back up? Yeah, come back up. All right. So we've got two cases where we should report the closing position of the slide. Um, Now, maybe we should just call this slide motion. Because once we open the slide to eject around, that's going to be pertinent as well. And we really can just have them be the same event, really. Right? And then we don't need to put this in an if case. So we just say at the end here, emit signal, slide, motion, and percent open. And that makes it a lot easier. You're going to tip my computer over, kitty cat. Climbing around on the laptop over there. Yeah. There she goes. All right. So we've got that signal right there, and then we're going to have another signal right here if it's going to spring closed by itself. Right here, and you can see it's moving right there, so we can have a slide motion event right there. Although, hmm, right, right. There we go. Looks good. Uh, Now watch, this is gonna be funny. If I go open the other door, the other cat's gonna come straight down to check and see if there's any leftover food. You ready? Oh, maybe not. I guess I'm wrong. Right, we just don't want to emit this signal if it's not going to be accurate. So this makes sense. It doesn't matter if we're going to call this twice per tick. It's just a literal, it's a division and a multiplication. It's not like we're burning too much processing power by doing that. So, right. So if you are dragging the slide, it's always going to emit a signal about the position being updated. Now, it may matter the direction, right? The direction is going to matter. So we might want to do that here. Right. So if it's the slide is opening, right? That's a rearward motion. We could name it a bunch of different things, but that seems the most natural word choice. So I think that sounds fine. Although we are kind of mixing terms here. We're saying percent open, like the slide is all the way open, or the slide is all the way to the rear. Like it kind of means the same thing. We're using it synonymously. Uh, you could make the case instead of slide direction rearward, you could say hmm, moving in open direction. It's a little bit wordy, but so is moving rearward. Moving in open direction. Right, and if it's false, it's moving in the closing direction, forward. I don't hate it. We'll keep it. Doesn't really matter. We don't need to get too pedantic. Okay. So now if we go back to the gun, right, we're going to listen to, we're going to register a listener. We can actually do that just like this. So if we look at the slide, slide motion, and let's register a listener for that at the top level. on slide motion. In here, we can say if not all right, and then this hi kitty cat. Let's kind of pseudocode this a little bit. Kitty censorship. Kitty, how are you? Just gotta stick your butt in the camera, don't you? Hey, kitty, you climbing on the shoulder? Okay, go for it. We'll just write code while you're doing that. Just don't scratch me. Ouch. Not in an open direction. Okay. So if uh hang on, do we have a if we look at the we have a flag here. Magazine fully inserted. That's a good point as well, because this gun is never going to push the cartridge back into the magazine, right? The cartridge is in the magazine, right? And the slide is going to just push it out of the magazine, but it's not going to pull it back into the magazine, you see? Sorry, cat. Oops. Right. So here's the cartridge, right? Sitting there in the magazine, right? And then the slide is coming along here, and it's going to push it out of the magazine. Let's say the user pulls the slide back. The magazine isn't going to, the cartridge isn't going to get pulled back into the magazine. It's just going to get pushed out and then stay there. Pushed out and then stay there. So we can handle that on the magazine logic side of it, actually. So if we save this, hey, lap kitty. So look at the magazine here. Strip cartridge, right? Equals. Hello, Captain Furball. How's your night been? I have a cat sitting on my lap, which is pretty cool. Our new cat. She's calmed down quite a bit since she was in heat last week, which was not fun. She was screaming her head off. Bloody murder, but she's calmed way down. Usually in the last week, a week or so, right? So that's good. That's good. And we've programmed some cool new stuff with the magazines, and we're in progress of that. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad she likes hanging out in my lap. That's kind of fun, for sure. I'm a fan. So, right now we're working on, we just finished up the magazine insertion. So, this works now. So you can put a magazine in, and the mag release, this little bit doodad right here. See how it moves? Which is pretty cool. And then when we click it in place, snaps in there, and then if we unclick it, we can take it out. But if it's clicked and we try to take it out otherwise, it doesn't work. But if we unclick it, we can take it out. Pretty cool. But the next problem we have to solve, thank you, is if we do this and then we do this, it should load a cartridge, and it doesn't do that right now, right? Yeah, it's kind of an interesting uh design that has been around for a long, long time, right? Like some of the very first pistols had a heel mag release. I think? I don't know. Uh, but it makes sense if you only have like two magazines for your gun, because nowadays, right, the idea is you just drop them on the ground, right? You just reload. You've got like six magazines, whatever, who cares? But uh, whatever. Uh, as an officer in the Soviet army, you just had two magazines, right? So they didn't want you just dropping them. That wasn't how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to take it out and just put that one back in your pocket and then load the next magazine in. So if you're reloading it down here at the bottom, you pull the release at the bottom and then you just pull it right out at that same spot. So that kind of makes sense. And uh this happens to me a lot with my carry gun is if you like sit down in the car, the button on the side hits the car seat and it spits the magazine out when you don't want it to. And if you have the release on the bottom, uh, then that doesn't happen, which is good. So, right now, if you look inside here, right, when this when this comes forward, it should move that top cartridge. That top cartridge should move. And right now it doesn't. So that's what we're trying to fix. Um, and there's a certain point where the cartridge actually is going to be reparented. It's not going to belong to the magazine anymore. It's going to belong to the gun. So we're going to have to like, it's going to have to change parents. It's going to have to be transferred. So, uh, we'll get there. I'm just going to have it move forward first. And then once it gets to the end of that slide, then we'll pass it off to the we'll reparent it. So we want to go back to the gun script and here we go. So we have this new event called onSlide motion and it's being passed the direction the slide is moving, so whether it's opening or closing, and then the percent. So it's just the position of the slide. Is the slide all the way back? Is it halfway closed? Whatever. So if it's closing, if not moving in open direction, so the slide is closing, and there is a magazine inserted all the way, then within a certain range of position. So if percent open, so let's see, we probably want it to be is greater than this is a good question. Let's say 80%. And let's just print it. And then we may as well move it because why not? So inserted magazine dot strip gun strip cartridge. And let's say percent open minus 80. So this is going to be a number between 0 and 20. And then we want to flip that around because the bigger the number, the right. So we want to make this negative plus 20. And then how do we make a number between 0 and 20 become between 0 and 100? We have to multiply it by 5, right? So times 5. Maybe. That might work. That might work. We'll try it. Nothing wrong if it doesn't work. Nothing wrong if it doesn't work. We'll just give it a go. My debug window isn't working. Let's get that. There we go. Right? Put 2 in there. Click it in. Alright. And let's see what gets printed in our debug here. Okay. So we can see those 2 debug lines already. It says the slide is 100% open, which is true. It's all the way open. So now as we slide it forwards, okay. That's like 80% right there. Okay. That's probably about right. Because, yeah, like right there is probably where it's going to switch parents. Was that 80%? That's a pretty good guess. 80%. So we'll keep that for now. That seems reasonable. But the cartridge is not moving. And I wanted it to move, so something's not right. Something's not right. So my math here is wrong. Gun strip cartridge. Okay, let's think about this for a second. So percent open is going to be, let's say 90% for an example. So let's just kind of do this math. Okay. So let's say it's 90 as an example. So if the slide is at position 90, we want the cartridge to be halfway out of the magazine, because between 100%, the cartridge should be 0% out of the magazine, and at 80%, the cartridge should be 100% out of the magazine. So we just got to kind of like do some like number lines here, right? So if the slide is at 90% open, the cartridge should be halfway out, right? So 90 minus 80, right? Should be 10, right? So that's 10. And then we're going to do negative of that number. So we're looking at this bit right here. Negative of that bit right there. So negative 10 plus 20 should be 10. So now we've got a positive 10. So we've just flipped it around there. You could also just do an absolute value of that, right? Well, no, because this is, let's say it's 95. Like, let's do another example, right? Let's say the slide is 95% open, right? So the cartridge should be 25% of the way out. Yeah, sorry. I'm uh I'm kind of confusing myself. Let me see if I can doodle something here. So the layer here. Layer. New layer. Here we go. And let's get a pencil. Yes, always a good plan. Let's say we have a 10 pixel. There we go. That looks reasonable, right? Okay. So say this is the slide on our gun, right? Something like this. Got that. Got that little window thingy in it. The ejection port. Cool. Call this slide. And then why is the new layer button weird? Oh well. This is Linux. GIMP is the Linux Photoshop. It should look perfect. What gives? All right. And then we've got the magazine over here. Actually kind of at a little bit of a slant, doesn't it? Doesn't really matter. Beautiful. Okay, that's our magazine. And then got a cartridge. And let's draw that kind of like this. Beautiful artwork. Okay. And the slide also, on the inside of the slide, it's got like, there's a little breech face right here. That's inside of there. There's this flat piece. So, when the slide goes forward, right? Oops. There we go. When the slide goes forward, it should push that cartridge with it, kind of like that. And the barrel is sitting over here. Like here-ish, I guess. Oh, I guess I didn't make a barrel here. There we go. Great. And draw the barrel. Beautiful. So there's the barrel. So when the slide moves over, right, it's kind of pushing that cartridge with it, and eventually the cartridge is gonna kind of tilt up and go into the chamber there, right? But that's kind of what we're modeling right now, is it's gonna scoop up that bullet and push it into the chamber, you know? And the number lines we're dealing with here are we have a number line for the slide. And the slide is either 100% open or 0% all the way closed, right? So as we move the slide forward, it's really more like here, but whatever. It's fine, it's fine. 0. Oops, a fixed aspect ratio. Cool. Okay, perfect. Fixed it. Ah. Ooh. Well, I drew something on the wrong spot. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. And then the the cartridge also has its own slider from here being 0 and here being 100 of how much the cartridge has moved, like that way. And the slides slider is saying how much it's moved that way, 0 to 100, and the cartridge 0 to 100. And so we need to make those two numbers connect. So if the slide moves anywhere in this area, it pushes the cartridge all the way from here to here. That's what we're doing. So this number is the slide position. So like x is a function of y. We want the cartridge's position as a function of the slide's position. And so that's what this is hopefully going to be. So percent open is the position of the slide, and then gun strip cartridge is going to move the cartridge. And it's not moving. Right now it's not moving. So we got to figure that out because it's supposed to move. So let's say that slide is 95% open, which means the cartridge should be 25% forward. I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this. I apologize. But so we can try this. 95 minus 80. We're just plugging everything into this equation here. I can actually even copy it. Like so. So there's some algebra, right? Percent open. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. So percent open equals 95. And then this is going to equal cartridge position equals this equation. But this equation is wrong, I think, because it's not working. But let's just try it. Let's play it out. So let's kind of keep plugging stuff in here. So this should equal 25. That's what I want it to be. Because they're moving different distances, like the slide's moving this much, the cartridge is going to move this much, so we have to kind of like map those two together. So then we can kind of keep doing it. So percent open is actually 95 in this example. We just type that in. Linear equation that takes the slider input and creates an output for the cartridge. Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's the hope. That's the hope. Exactly so. So 95, and then we can just kind of continue this down. So 95 minus 80 is 15, right? And then we keep it going, and we say negative 15 plus 20 is 5. So far, so good. And then 5 times 5 should equal 25. So that looks good. So that works. That's correct. Our function is right. Our function is right. Maybe something else is the problem. Let's print what's being said here. So let's go in here. Magazine code. And here we go. Here we go. Here's the function. So let's say print moving cartridge out of the magazine percent equals plus string of percent removed. And let's see what the code says. And this is, we can make this. I always forget to put string around everything, and then it complains at me. All right. Slide position is set. There we go. Okay, try it. So for realsies, let's put 2 in, 1, 2, put the mag in the gun, there it goes. Cool. Okay. Maybe I always get too confused by that thing, which is probably silly. I should just learn how to use it. But yeah, maybe that might also do it because it's doing the same sort of thing, right? So slide position is 100%. Move the cartridge out of the magazine 0%. So far, so good. Okay. Slide position is 84%. Moving the cartridge out of the magazine 75%. That's right. That's right. So now, yeah, why isn't it moving it though? Why isn't it moving it? I think I overflowed my thing. Yeah, it's definitely working. It's definitely working. So it's not actually moving it is what. Now, I also bound the command to my debug button. Yeah, exactly. I agree. The math is right. So I'm gonna manually trigger the function with the N key on my keyboard. So hopefully we see the cartridge actually move when I press the button. Ready? Go. Nope, it didn't move. It didn't move. Which is funny because it did move earlier. I crossed my heart. Yeah, I tested this earlier and that function worked. So I must have broke something. So and then no, that's just okay. Yeah. What did I break? So something else is broken. So let's go look in the magazine code again for a second. In here. Oh, maybe I broke it with this bit right here. Because penalty percent moved. Right, let's get rid of this if condition. Well, what if we flip it around? Meters minimum plus percent removed. Good. Minimum maximum. Sure, let's try it. Let's try it. Oops, get back here. Come on. Need to make that hitbox smaller, I think. Okay, and good. And try it again. We take this out, and then we hit the N button to just manually trigger it. Yeah, now it's moving. Yeah, that's better. That's what we want to see. Okay, that's good. Here, let's pop this out of here. Oh. Have to fix that. That's not quite right. There we go. Okay. That's good. It pushed it forward like that. Now, that's not really how it would actually work, but that's okay. So, put it back in there. Let's try it one more time. Let's try it one more time. So how does it look if we don't manually trigger it and we let the slide push it forward? Kinda. It possessed. Yeah. Exactly. Has the power of Satan working in its favor. Okay. There we go. So it's moving forward too much. Way too much. Way too much. My math is still wrong here, now in this function. Righto. So percent removed. Right? Because it's just going straight to 100%. As soon as it gets any number, it's moving it right to the very end of the slider. And that shouldn't happen. So something's wrong. So let me try to understand this. So horizontal move. Okay. What if it's, so the minimum, what if the minimum is fully inserted? No, nope, the minimum is all the way out. Oh. The minimum is all the way out. I just have my whatever, my negatives and positives mixed up. So uh minus is all the way out. So what we want to do is take the maximum. That's the starting point, is all the way in the magazine, is the maximum. And then subtracting from it pulls it, removes it from the magazine. And then if it's less than that, then it's more outward. Let's try that. Let's try that. I think this will work. One, two. So far, so good. Look at that. Yeah, that worked. That worked. That worked. So you see, as we're, it's pushing it in there, you know? That's good. That's good. Now we just kind of have to fine tune. Yay! Thank you, thank you. We just have to kind of fine tune it. Oop. Okay. So. Cup. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So if we kind of look at how that feels. So that, yeah, we need to reparent it after it gets all the way out, exactly. I feel like the cartridge is moving faster than the slide is moving. That's, the cartridge is just, the slide is just moving a little bit, the cartridge is moving, it's getting ahead of the, so yeah. So cartridge is moving too fast. So the number we want to change here, I think, is the 80%. So let's make it, let's try 90%. Uh, 90 plus 10 times 10. Try that. See if that makes sense. I got that backwards. One, two, boop. And I can probably get the debug window out of here for you. No, that did the opposite of what we wanted to do. That did the opposite of what we wanted to do. Okay. Uh, so let's see. Let's go instead of 90, let's go to 70. Hmm. Let's see. 80, 70. Then this is 30. And then how many 30s go into 100? But it's going to be 3.3 repeating, right? So we multiply it by a smaller number, 3.33. Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. If we need to have it be less of a round number, yeah, 3.333. Uh, oh, gun's not lined up with it. There we go. Oh. Alrighty. Get over here, you. Get all lined up there. There we go. Okay. That seemed reasonable. That seemed reasonable. Yeah. Let's go ahead and go with that, and then let's reparent it. So now, thank you. Uh, we need a new property here. Um, what do we want to call this? We could call it the chambered cartridge. Um, but it's not necessarily chambered. We could call it cartridge held by extractor. Sure. What the hey? It's a little overly verbose, but that works. Um, so now, elif, then, oh, hang on. This needs to be, okay, less than 70. Ooh. gonna get a little interesting. We're gonna need at least one more flag. Have I tried a game called Receiver? No, I haven't. Uh, I'm curious though. What's the premise? Oh. Ooh. This looks very similar. I did not know this existed.
Good grammar and spelling are important.
Let's not watch that Grammarly.
It is here. No more planning, no more training, no more time. It is here. Appropriate firearm discipline is paramount to your survival. The threat will not wait while you fumble rounds into your magazine. The threat will not wait for you to slowly chamber a round. The threat will not wait to kill you. Find the tapes. They are our only chance for survival. Be constantly vigilant. Always assume the worst and take no chances. The threat will ensure anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Be ready for your firearm to jam. Be ready for the glass beneath your feet to shatter. Be ready for anything. Make no mistake that the full force of the threat can and will overwhelm even the strongest of receivers. So use any time you have to drill your firearm and study your enemy. Your life depends on it. If you
Interesting. I had never heard about this. I'm torn if I want to like dive into it or like not learn too much about it because I don't want to copy it too much. It looks really good. It looks really fun. Similar idea. Similar idea. I'm glad it looks like it uh was well received because that means maybe people will like this kind of idea. So, thanks for letting me know about it. Let's see. Yeah, I had no idea. I'm gonna look at it more because I'm curious now. Let's see. So we've changed that to 70. We need another flag. We need another flag because I left my example handgun upstairs. Um, oh man, gosh, no. That that game looks very polished, but thanks for saying. Um, but the issue is if the if the slide comes a little bit of the way back and then comes forward, it shouldn't pick up a cartridge, right? We need the slide to come at least far enough back to grab one before it would pick one up. So if we just use this logic, it's gonna, as soon as it comes back just a tiny bit, it's gonna pick one up. And that's not good. So we need an extra flag. Um, so I'm gonna call it slide ready to strip round. Uh, and then well, actually, say 95%. And moving in open. There we go. Just to say, we need a flag to say, hey, that it's moved back far enough that it could pick up a cartridge. So we need that flag. Uh, and now this is where we're going to reparent it. So you hearing the people walking around upstairs, kitty cat? She wants to go see what's going on. Totally, yeah. Thanks for saying hi, and have a good day at work. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, sure, sure. It might be like a couple minutes, so you're welcome to go do it your stuff if you need to. But if we're gonna reparent it, let's go to the slide. And where's the slide? Right here. We go in 3D, we're gonna put a marker where the cartridge is gonna appear on the slide. So let's go to the right-hand view. Okay. And let's add a position 3D. I'm gonna put it like right here. And we're gonna name it captive cartridge position. Okay. And what we can even do is we can parent a cartridge to it. So if we go into the cartridge folder, and we look at the 9x18 Makarov round, we put one as a child there, just as an example. And let's hide the barrel. Let's hide the frame. We can see in there. And then let's look at the slide. Captive cartridge position. And we move it forward a little bit. Oh, and it's flipped around the wrong way. So we can fix that. Oop. So you can see, I wish I could zoom in more, but this is because we're working with such small objects, this is as zoomed as we can go in Godot. So you can tell we need to move it down a little bit because we're trying to line it up with that little indent on the slide right there, right? And then we're going to move it back until it's just touching. So it's clipping in there and then right there. That seems about right. See, right there. And then, does that look right top to bottom? Let's just look at it from the front for just a second. Then we just, from top to bottom, see we want it right in the middle there. That looks pretty good. Looks good. So we can delete the cartridge. Boop. And we might need to rotate this. No, it should be facing the right way. We're just using this as a position. So we're going to do that. And we're going to save, and we can show everything that we want to show again. So, boop, boop. And captive cartridge position, go over here. And now we're going to reparent it. So we're going to say gun. We're going to say inserted magazine dot. We have a function here where we take a round out of the magazine. So we go into magazine. And what's that function called? We say give up cartridge, right? Can we say ask for cartridge? think we say give up cartridge. Right, because here in the drag, yep, we say give up cartridge. And what's that going to do? That's going to emit a signal of give cartridge. So we're going to go here when we say insert magazine give up cartridge. And we're going to say the top cartridge, which is... We also want to make sure that the magazine has a cartridge. Why isn't it like that? Identifier in interted. I misspelled it. In there we go. Length is greater than 0. Dot. And we can even, just as easily, go back to the magazine. We can also just return the cartridge. Nice, and that's going to make our life a little easier here. So now we can say cartridge equals, and we can say cartridge held by the extractor is equal to give up cartridge. So take a magazine out of the cartridge. Hey, kitty cat. And then we're almost done because in this function, it's going to remove the child. So this has deparented the cartridge from the magazine. So now all we need to do is reparent it to the slide. So we need to go here. This is the wouldn't this be great if this just works the first time? Slide dot add child cartridge held by extractor. And then we need to put it in the right spot. Dot transform dot origin equals slide make sure our 3D path is right here. Is this slide a child of the frame? No. But it has a capital S. There we go. And then the position. I would love it if it worked the first time. Captive cartridge position dot transform dot origin. Great. Fingers crossed. Here goes. Fire in the hole. High stakes programming. Okay. In you go. And then here it comes. No. All right, that's okay. Let's see. Else if percent open is less than 70 and slide ready to strip around. Let's just add some print statements here. And inserted magazine and length of inserted magazine dot cartridges. Oh, my parentheses was in the wrong spot. See that? See that parenthesis mistake? Okay, that's probably the problem, actually. Let's assume that was it. Okay, it's gonna work the second time. It's gonna work the second time. There's 1, 2. In you go, and in you go, buddy. No, not quite. Okay. Let's see. What did we get a... I'm printing too much. I'm printing too much. Yeah, it stops right there. It doesn't reparent yet. We're also going to need to fix the rotation. That's okay. That's okay. We'll get there. It's not removing it either. Okay, let's remove these print statements so we're not cluttering up our printing. That, and in the magazine, let's remove this print statement right here. Cartridge out of the magazine percent. Yeah, okay. Play, boom, bam. Boom. We only need 1 in there, really. Uh-oh. I think I got the bug where I put it in the wrong magazine. Shoot. Okay, try again. You didn't see that. There's no bugs in this game. Alright, there we go. Okay. And so we're looking for, we've got the over with the output showing here. See, it should say slide ready to strip around. But it's not saying that, is it? See, it's not printing that. So why isn't it printing that? That's the problem. What bug? Right here. This is the problem, I think. Go back to the gun script. This isn't called. Percent open direction. Why would that not be true? Let's just get rid of that condition for a second. Hey, kitty. Really don't care which direction it's moving, so that's kind of a silly criteria for me to have had in that if statement. So let's just give this a go. Come on, baby. And yes, hey, kind of. Oh, better. Okay. Let's add another parameter here. Let's give another parameter. Give up cartridge, was captive. Give to gun. Okay, and then when we call it up here, give to gun is going to be false. Okay. And give up cartridge if here. If to gun. Awesome. And then we go here. And then we go... Give up cartridge. Give to gun, true. Okay. Boom. Cartridge. Oh. Bam. Good. This time, what are we on? 4th time's the charm. Get over here, you. Okay, and... boom. And... boom. Oh, so close. I'll take it. That works. Sorry, kitty cat. It's parented. It's just not quite in the right spot. It's a little bit high. It worked. Yeah, now we just need to move the position down a little bit, but that's easy. We just go here, Yeah, we just need to fiddle with it more. But in theory, it's all working. It's all working. Sorry, that took like probably 5 minutes longer than you wanted to watch, and you were probably just waiting to go to work. Sorry. Captive cartridge position. We just need to slide this down a little bit. Like that. Or so. Oh, the kitty, where did she go? It's behind me now. Now I think we're really cooking with gas. Yeah. Well. Yeah. There it is. There it is. Yeah. It's still a little bit high. That's the idea. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's in there. It's in there. Is it a little off center? No, it's on center. It's just a little high still. Boop. Yeah, that's neat. Busy day. Planned work-wise or not too bad? I think it's pretty chill. It's in there. It's not picking up the first time, so I'll have to fiddle with that still, but that's alright. That looks right. That's in the right position now. That's in the right position. That's absolutely in the right position. In fact, if we look down the bore, we should see the bullet in there. That's cool. That's cool. Unfortunately not. That's next. That's next. Makes sense, yeah. No, that's where most of my days are like nowadays, which it's a good place to be. A good place to be. A little bit too far forward, maybe? Should go backwards a little bit more, I think. Uh, that's okay. But the position, look at it. You can see it go right in the chamber there. That's the right position. Perfect. Nice. Awesome. And you were saying that would be an in-person one, right? Have you heard back at all? Or do you know when you'll hear from them, if you're getting it or not? I think you were telling me that you were thinking about it. I don't know if I saw that you had actually applied yet or not. So awesome, rock on. Was it a full-up interview or is it a virtual, uh, just send in your application kind of thing? We're gonna move it back a little bit. Why it's not picking up the first one? Would it be a long drive? Or walk or bike or whatnot? First interview was okay. They said, shortlisted for a second interview. Haven't heard any dates yet. Nice. Awesome. Well, that's sure something, so congrats on being on their shortlist anyway. On shortlist, yeah, true. I mean, if nothing else, like say they're looking at two people, right? And they're just flipping a coin at that point. They're like, this guy, right? Like, having been on the other side of that, where like they're like, hey, we're hiring someone for our team. Do you want, you know, person A or person B? Here's the resumes. I'd be like, I don't know. They both look good to me, so I'm no help. I would just pick one at random. So, if you get unshortlisted, I wouldn't feel too bad about it. I think the fact that you're on the short list right now says a lot that you're a good candidate, you know. Let's see. So, does it say it's not ready to pick up around the first time we go back? Yeah, it did not say it's ready to pick up around yet. Now it is. Why did that take so long? You see, there's a delay to that. Now it's gonna grab it just fine. Oop, that went really fast. That was a little weird. That was a little weird. Why was there a delay in it deciding that it was ready to strip around? That was weird. That was weird. It should happen immediately. Date of... Yeah, sweet. Sounds good. Totally. Sounds good. Have a good day there, and thanks for stopping in and say hi. Uh, I'll probably just fiddle with this for a few more minutes and see if I can't fix a few things, and then I'm probably taking a break too, so... Cheers! Let's see. So when does it call this update function? Oh. Yeah, we don't care if the slide is closing. That's maybe the problem. I think that's maybe the trouble. I think that's the fix. I think that's the fix. Let's try it. Let's try it. Not gonna step on the cat, right? She's not under me. Let's see if that worked. Maybe it did. So we want it to say it's ready immediately to strip around. Just like there. Yeah. Also forces me to drop it. That shouldn't happen. I think I know why that is too. Give up cartridge right here. Here we go. That's the issue there. You even, hey, kitty cat, you even get the click noise as it removes it from the magazine. That's pretty cool. Cat, you're sticking your butt in the camera again. That's cool. That works. Ah, sorry, cat. I just got to use the keyboard for a second. Don't worry about it. Just kind of in the way a little bit, but that's fine. Ah, let's do that one more time, and then I think we're gonna call it good. We're gonna call it good. Sweet, sweet. And then open and nice and slow. Look at that. Look at that. I'm just gonna do it one more time. I'm just gonna do it one more time. That looks really cool. Now, eventually, if you open the slide again, it should kick that round out. And I think there's other edge cases we're not considering. Like, yeah, right. There's edge cases here we're not considering. You absolutely could break this if you use it in weird ways. Okay. Let's do it with the slide stop. I like that you can go over the top like that. But now let's just snap it home. Sling it home. Oops. Tried to drag it in OBS. Looking at the wrong screen. There it is. Now, technically, if we do that, it should kick that round out. But that's okay. We'll do that next. Well, no, we wanted to shoot next, but we also wanted to kick out the round, you know? So, and we, yeah, maybe we'll make it shoot next. I think that's the next logical progression. I don't know. I don't know. We'll decide that later. That's another thing. When you rack the slide, it should actually cock the hammer as well. Like that, but... But we'll get there. We'll get there. Details. Details. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Alright. Sweet. This is a lot of work. There's a lot of really, like, minutia things that I didn't even think about going into this that we're gonna have to... The safety doesn't work yet. Now, you can still pull the trigger just the same, even if the safety's on. And in fact, I think the Makarov safety is also a decocker. So if you've cocked the hammer and then you put the safety on, right, it should actually lower the hammer without firing, I think. Look that up. We'll look that up because we'll have to program that too. Anyway, that's it for right now, I think. Kitty Cat says goodnight. Ah. Thanks for watching. Cheers.